Vortex Viper Gen 2 1:6. This is video that's kind of come in a few different parts because I've done a review on this, which is the technically AXTS or Radian Model 1. This is just an early edition one. We briefly talked about the Viper and that. And then we did a LPVO versus red dot video, in which case this thing actually did quite well. So this is almost just like a, hey, let's kind of top off this subject matter that we've been kicking around for a few different videos now. So the Viper Gen 2, the 1:6, so straight up, so my optic paid for it, yada yada, so I have no, it'd be great if I had an endorsement deal, and they can give me one. I am available for purchase, straight up. I can be bought, okay? But I have not been bought, so I'm buying all of my own shit, so I can tell you my honest thoughts on this, and frankly, they're good. Spoiler alert, if you're like, I don't want to watch this stupid 11-minute video, cool. Good optic, okay? Go ahead, you can move to the next video now. But, hey, look, if you watch any videos on this channel, you'll know I'm not really hitting a lot of specs and components and all that kind of stuff. But 1:6, and I've got the MOA reticle, 30mm tube, 3.8-inch eye relief, all that kind of stuff. I'm more of an opinion guy, so let me give you my opinion on it. So first thing I think people would probably wonder is the glass clear, especially in comparison to the Razor HD. So I don't have a Razor, I've seen them, and that would probably be the main competitor to this. And hey, look, I'm not a huge scoped rifle guy. I'm definitely not a precision shooter, but for my Irish eye, glass is clear. Like, I'm not looking through it, I'm like, that glass is green. Like, I don't have any of that. Like, it looks good. Okay, so glass is clear. That said, I've become quite fond of this optic. I haven't done, you know, deep, hard use on it because it's mine and I paid for it. And when you're giving shit for free, you're a lot more likely to be willing to beat it up. When I pay for it, I'm a little more likely to take care of it, right? So I haven't run it through the ringer, right? But it's been really solid for everything I've used it for. The dot is bright enough to be used during the day, especially in kind of cloudy conditions like this. Like, it's gonna actually be super solid. Super bright conditions on 10 power. You'll pick it up, but it's not gonna be red dot bright. So, you know, that's just kind of like recapping overall thoughts on the Viper 1:6. I'm a big fan.
Hello and welcome back to Affordable Optics and Rifle Reviews. Today, we're going to be redoing a review of the 2.5 by 10 by 40 telescopic sight. Now, there's a few reasons for that. First of all, with the editing, we kind of got the timing of the shots with the other, because I do it with two cameras, so we need to sync them, and it was a little off sync. So we're going to be redoing that for that reason. And as well, last time I gave it a thumbs down because it really gave me really shitty groupings. However, other people have been saying they have really good results and really good experiences with this optic. So I want to redo it for those two reasons there. We're going to be doing a few different things this time. So last time we put on the Ruger 1022 and the SKS. This time we're going to skip the SKS and go with the bolt action Mossberg MVP. Now there's a few reasons for that. Is with the SKS, the rail sets itself probably about a good 2.5 inches above the barrel. Now on the Mossberg MVP, it's probably about a 1/2 inch above the barrel. Now already this has a good inch from, let's say, where it sits on the rail to the lower end of the bell, or whatever you call it. And I would really like to get as close to the bore as possible. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to test it on the Mossberg MVP, which is a 223 bolt action. Yeah, so I picked this one up here on eBay for $60. You can actually find it commonly branded at Cabela's under the name Firefield. So I guess they just buy a whole bunch, put their stickers on it, and give you a new price tag. Anyway, right out the box, I wouldn't go with this. So if it was my own rifle, I would not put this on it. For the reason that it's round. Now, the laser on the side I will not be testing at all because, I don't know, I just don't feel like it. Yeah. So, oh right, what I wanted to mention was the parallax adjustment. So this is the parallax adjustment. This is your elevation. So this is elevation, this is the parallax. Now have a look. Observe the elevation as I adjust the parallax. Can you guys even see that's a 3 on there? Yeah, you should be able to. Let's go out and test it on the rear 1022. Then we'll test it on the Mossberg MVP. And if it does really well, we're going to test it at 100 yards. Let's get going. 15, considering it has a little bit, a whole 1.5 inches above your rail. But on any other rifle, I find it's too high. Like on my Mossberg MVP, I already found it was a little high right there. And the crosshairs are not really leveled. Like, you'd think if it's a solid piece, they would have leveled it with the base of this, but it's not perfect. Anyway, there you have it. That's my final review on the 2.5 by 10 by 40.
And outside because it's a beautiful night out here in Carolina. It's actually the first evening that it's been below 100 in a while. It's like 95. So that's like nice and cool and refreshing apparently. But today we're going over the scope that you guys see on this rifle and that you guys have seen throughout the video so far. This is the Trijicon VCOG, the variable power combat optical gun sight, I believe is what it stands for. So this is a 1:6 scope. It's got some things that are very different from other 1:6 offerings out there on the market, some things that are similar. But basically today what we're gonna do is go over the scope in terms of the details, features of it, the reticle that it has, other reticle options, and then basically my experience with it overall, what I think of it, all of that stuff. And that's pretty much the details of the scope. We'll start here at the back and sort of work our way forward. We do have our fast focus eye ring here. So what this is for those that don't know, on the back of the scope is everyone's eyesight, of course, is different. Your prescription levels may be different. Some of you guys have astigmatism, some don't, etc. What this allows you to do is to set the reticle so that it's clear to your eye, because again, everyone is different. Me personally, I tend to have really good vision and I don't have astigmatism, so I usually keep mine all the way down. There's some exceptions to that, but what I like about this one is, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's not super easy to turn. I mean, it's not like overly hard. You don't need a wrench or anything, but it takes some movement. So save camera here in a minute. I don't think my mic's picking them up, but they're making me laugh off to my side. But anyway, yeah, it's super rugged, super durable. With the integrated mount, I don't see how it could really like bump off zero, anything like that. You don't have to worry about the screws on your mount in terms of like rings coming off. It's just not a thing. They don't come loose. Again, with that TA51 mount on there, add a little bit of Loctite and that thing will stay put where it needs to be for a long, long time. It has excellent glass, has very usable reticles like we talked about. AA battery. It's expensive for sure. But in my opinion, it's a very high quality optic. Right now, as I'm filming this, SOCOM is looking at picking up a low power variable optic option. This is one of the ones that I know they are looking at. Who knows where that's gonna go. Eventually, I'm sure we will all know the winner, but as of right now, no one knows what they're gonna go with, but I know this is a contender for it, and I think for good reason. This thing, super durable, super rugged, 100% made in America, like I said, has all the integrated mount and all that stuff that we talked about. It's got a lot going for it. Now, is it for everybody? Nope. Do you need it? Nope. Not. Do you need to spend that kind of money rather to have a 1:6 scope? No, you don't. But if you want one that's very, very high quality and is going to compete with some of the Night Force offerings, the Collies or Kales, I have no idea how to say it, some of the higher end Leupold low power variable optics, this will compete very well with all of those, and in a lot of cases probably be a little bit more durable than them, especially when you consider the mount option. Today we're going over this optic that you see in my hands right here and that you saw throughout the intro on a couple different rifles. This is the Vortex Razor 1:6 Gen 2E. So that's kind of a lot wrapped up in there. So obviously it's a low power variable optic going from 1x to 6x. One thing I will tell you right up front, people always ask, how's the 1x? Is it a true 1x? For a 1:6, it's absolutely excellent and probably the best I've seen in the 1:6 range. And I say that because for those that don't understand low power variable optics, something that is a 30mm tube like we have here, all things being equal, a 1:4, generally speaking, is going to have a better 1x than say like a 1:8. Now, there's a lot of math that goes into that, but another thing that also goes into it is the type of glass that they have. This one here, of course, has high density glass. That helps a lot. in terms of getting yourself a true 1X. And this one, again, very, very close, which is nice because it gives you a lot of speed up close and personal. But then, of course, when you spin that ring over, you get out to 6 power, and it gives you a lot more capabilities to either positively identify targets, discriminate between targets, and then, of course, if you have to engage those targets, do so with much better precision than you probably could with that red dot. So all of that aside, let's let the dogs take a look at it and then get into the details of the scope. And at the end, we'll wrap it up, hopefully with what I think of it overall, and sort of work our way forward so that way we can have some sort of order to this. We do have a fast focus eye ring here. What this is going to allow you to do is to focus the reticle to your eye. Everybody's eye is a little bit different, whether it be because of astigmatism or different prescriptions or age or whatever the case may be. It allows you to get the reticle as crisp as it could possibly be for what you see. Because you need to pay $1,400 to get, you know, 1:6 optic? Nope. You could pay a lot more. There's some that are double and triple this price, and I'm not sure you're getting a ton more than you would with this one here. So
today I want to bring to you this Leupold. It's the Leupold 5 HD tactical rifle scope, 5x25, and it's sitting on top of this stealth, this Savage stealth rifle. And it's in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's actually a rifle we've got across to do a video and review on, and we're halfway through sort of building that. And it came to us set up like it is. I didn't do any of the setting up. It's but set up like it is to do the test and do some shooting with it. The scope is, and I suppose I'll touch base a little bit with that. I'm not going to get too much into the details. I'll put some stuff on the screen. I'm not going to tell you what you can look up and work out for yourself. It is all the bits and pieces of a full tactical rifle scope. So it actually has a cover on here, but in under there it has a proper turrets. It is quite smart the way it's set up. It's a little bit lighter than probably the counterparts it's marketing with, in the way of a 5x25 with a 56mm objective. So essentially what I'm saying is this Mark V of the Leupold, to me, for what I'm looking at, is a real step up. They really are playing with the big boys with what they've done, and it's something that I was quite impressed with. So it becomes a real thing to compare with, and for the people who've loved Leupolds all the time, I apologise, I'll just say it as I see it. I was, when I first, like I said, got back into it, I wasn't a fan. They were just not doing it for me. But this has really brought it back into where it is something to really consider.